You know what's sad is you have to take photographs of an iPhone that's recorded. It's easier than to put it on a PC. Yeah, it's pretty funny, isn't it? Well, there's our big snowfall. I was out doing our drive, and the neighbors. I did the neighbors across the street too because they're old. So this is the old Monkey Ward's 8-horse, and I shouldn't call them Monkey Wards. They're a great company, Montgomery Wards. And I don't know who made that. I think Gilson originally, probably. Maybe Aaron's. Probably Gilson. Maybe Aaron's. I don't know. But 2-stage. Pretty cool. Okay, enough of that. So what we're doing today, or this week, or whatever, is we're going to do this back seat. I'm going to do the portion that folds down first, and what I want to do is I want to use the horsehair that was in it. Now, a lot of people call this horsehair. I have a thought on this. Tell me if it makes any sense, because it makes lots of sense to me. That's not horsehair, that's coconut fiber. Well, why would they use coconut fiber? Okay. During the war, they had to stuff their seats with something, right? And they were doing the African campaign, and I would imagine there was a lot of coconut palms, coconut husks, and they had these piles of coconut husks they found, and they was like, well, what are we going to do with them? I know, we can pad seats with them. You know, that'll give us the Iron Cross. And so they did. So that's my thought, and they're still doing it. Okay. The problem with coconut husks is they come apart and they pour all over your seat, or pour all over your floor and that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently take this off, and I'm going to put another piece of padding on it, and then I'm going to put the coconut husk on it. That way, I've got some material that'll go on there. That way the coconut husks won't bleed through and that kind of thing. Also, I found this, which was quite interesting. And apparently Volkswagen farmed out their seats, because this was underneath one of the springs. That is, they had someone else make them. So, I don't know what the deal is with Volkswagen and nails, but it's got nails, like these little twisty nails, that hold this in. So we're going to take those out. And it's got some tabs you unbend, and in no time, place, timeline, whatever, do you need hog rings or hog ring pliers on this. You shouldn't. There's a nail in this rod here, and you take the nail out, and then the rod comes out. This comes out like, you know, you'd think it's going to come out of there. Why won't it come out of there? Oh, sorry I did that to you. So here's the springage. And yeah. And then this rod comes out this way, and we'll be able to put it all back together again once we get the cover on. We'll have to look at the spring too, because it kind of winds up. Kind of does a little wind on that. Okay. Alright, I'm going to have to order another roll of this, I think. But I'm going to wrap this. Let's see here. That's what that is. You can see it. I don't know where I got it from, but that's what it is. And I might buy a couple rolls of it. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm putting this over the springs, because if you put the husks over the spring, all that stuff just comes out. So I'm kind of sandwiching the between the seat the seat material and this. So that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm using these little, it's got little pokey things here. So we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to trim this edge here, and I'm going to glue this edge and give it a little flip like that, and put some clamps on it and let it set. I've wrapped this around and glued it with some urethane as well as the side, and kind of tucked this in a little bit, and that should be just fine. When we put the padding on the outside, it won't come through because this will be, yeah, so she'll be just absolutely perfect. We have this all, so we can take these clips off now, but I wanted to show something to you, and I've kind of made a little decision here. And here is our original mat, our original coconut husk, squashed flat, and where it's not squashed flat, it's yay thick, but it's just crumbly, and it's like a shredded wheat. It's terrible. I decided I don't want that in my seat. Okay? Here's the deal. Last year or the year before, I can't remember, Harbor Freight had a deal going on where they had a coupon. And the coupon was for a small moving blanket, and you got a free small moving blanket with any purchase. So I'd go in there and I bought welding wire or something like that, and I seen that, and so I get my 20% coupon, my free blanket, my free little moving blanket. It's a little Chinese, looks like kind of a Chinese coat kind of a thing that they would wear in Shanghai back in the 30s or something. Anyways, this little deal, and I got 4 of them, but I got 4 of them, and I got 2 that were of the size, there you go. But my wife came with me, and we went to 2 different Harbor Freights because they're close, and she went in and I went in, and we both complained when they didn't have the smaller ones, and the manager made a decision to give out the bigger ones free. So I think I have even more of them. I can't remember, because they used to have a coupon. Okay, that's neither here nor there. So I got these moving blankets free. Okay, so free is good. And let me set them off to the side. And I kind of made a decision. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double this up, and I'm going to lay it in such a way as to have it cover the top and slightly less as it goes towards the bottom. And what we'll do is we'll cover the top and slightly less, and then we'll have this and then this padding right here, and it should be fine. And then we'll just attach this moving blanket, we'll cut it down, and we'll just use this moving blanket for a padding. Why not? It's just the back of the seat anyway, so it's okay. And we could even double up on the bottom, maybe even triple. I've got enough, so maybe I'll use a big one on this and use the smaller ones on the seats. I don't know, but it's free. I've got them. It's better than that, and if you double it up, it's just as thick as that coconut husk. I'm going to use it. That'll be great. I'll show you this. I've doubled up this side, okay, and just the edge here, I just put a single and I put it over the top, and what I'll do is I'll tack this down with a little urethane, and we'll use some clamps like this, and I've got it wrapped around the top but I don't have it wrapped all the way around, because if you have it wrapped all the way around, it's too thick, and you won't get the little pins, the little tabs for your vinyl to stick. So I've got it wrapped around the top, which will add a lot of nice top cushion to it, and it's very plush. And the material it's made out of is that Chinese newspaper stuff. It's just some cellulose with some cloth on it, but it's free. It was free and fabulous, so I'm going to use it. There you go. Lovely. Just lovely. Got it tacked down with a little bit of urethane, just a dot here and there, so when I put the cover over the top and I pull it, it's not going to pull it off the material that I've already got underneath this material. So I'm going to let that set up, and then we should be able to put that cover on. Again, I've just got it. I don't have it wrapped all the way around, so should be just fine. Oh, that'll be wonderful. Well, I've been busy with the snowblower, and got a little more last night, so I did my drive and the neighbor's drive as well. And what would you think that about? 8 inches? That's quite a good snowfall for Oklahoma. But it's been the record cold. In fact, we had a blackout because the news said that we didn't opt for the de-icing feature on our windmills. It's not funny, you know. It's not. America's sitting on natural gas out the yazoo, and somebody's getting rich off of subsidies for putting up windmills that you know, when it's cold. And I've got an all-electric house, and had it not been for kerosene and my generator in my motorhome, and thinking ahead, you know, starting the motorhome, having the battery charged, gasoline, kerosene, and all the thoughts that go into preparing, I think probably we would have had to go somewhere, because we was out for about a day. So, you know, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Kiddies, if you don't get anything from this is directed to my grandchildren. If you don't get anything out of this, make yourself impervious to someone else's lunacy. Okay? Start your own business. Do something with these. If you start it, if you control it, if you manage it, no one can take that away from you. Doesn't matter how they slander or defame or whatever you. If you make it, the mechanic is a good deal, because everybody needs their cars fixed. You know, and some sort of mechanic is a great deal, because they can't take these away from you, and they can't take your mind away from you. So, and another thing, prepare yourself for the worst and hope for the best. But that's pretty good right there. I had a couple of little faux pas with it. Well, one thing, this Craftsman here has a bad case of the upsy downsies, but you can't fix that carburetor because it's one of those plastic jobs, and it's the worst engine ever, a Tecumseh, and it's one of those little plastic carburetors that you can't adjust. So if I had an adjustable carburetor, I could take that out of it. So, but under load, it works fine. It works pretty good. It spits out the snow really good, actually. And this one I was operating it, and my shoes were too far up, and so the auger was biting into the ground, and it broke the pin on one side on the auger, and so it was only, you know, working on one of the augers, not both of them. And so I adjusted my shoes. Little things like that, but generally, and it wouldn't shift because the grease on the slider had, so I sprayed a little WD-40 on that, careful to keep it off the drive wheel. All of a sudden it starts shifting just beautiful. So I'm enjoying the winter wonderland that it is, And it's going to start warming up and melting in the next couple of days. Okay, back to the Volkswagen. Today is the 16th, and I just heard that Rush Limbaugh had died. And Limbaugh was an icon on the radio. This is for my grandchildren because you guys probably already know this. And I received a free 28-year political education that was ongoing. It never ended from him. I learned everything about how the Democrats and liberals operate. He gave me their playbook. It's a lot of people, oh, that's the reason why you are the way you are is because you listen to Limbaugh. Yeah. Because you're not going to get the truth from all those other places. All right. Anyways, he was a great radio personality, and one of the things that I really enjoyed listening to him do is mimic Clinton. Wow! When he could hear, he would mimic Clinton in a way that would blow your mind. It was great. It was great. Oh, no one could do it like him. Okay. Well, we're gonna lay this out. This is our padding is beautiful, and we're gonna fold this on here and fold it around, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Probably I'm going to start at the bottom. Probably I'm going to attach at the bottom first, and then I'm going to wrap around the top and attach. Sometimes you can compress the seat a little bit, the springs, and get this on there. So just work down again. And I kind of measured each side, so I had it lined up kind of right. So you can kind of push down on that and it kind of compresses the spring a little bit. Then there's a piece of metal that goes across here. If I can find it again. Is this it? This might be it. Might be it. Yeah, it goes right here. And screws go through it like such. And it kind of holds everything in place too. So we're going to put that in there, and hopefully we'll have, oh yeah, we've got enough to go across. I'm kind of worried about these corners a little bit, but we can fake it, right? rest of that I can't put this piece on yet because the particle board has to go on that first, and then it screws on. There's that battery right there. I was looking for that. I was looking for that. I'm going to tuck this way. Careful where you put your hands. I wonder if there's another one right here, isn't there? Yeah, there is. So I'm going to get that one in there too. Oh, and there's one right there too. So there's two more. Maybe there's one more. There is. There's three. 1, 2, 3. Let me get those three and then do the other side also. Is that perfect? No, but it'll work. It's okay with me. Corners are really nice. Yeah. Okay, let's put our rod in. All right, I simply took this piece and went through the vinyl. All right, and this part I've figured out, and I should have thought about this first. It needs to go down. So when you pull on this, it pulls it. It pulls it out, up, and out of the catch. And so it does the same way over here. I took this rod and I went and went through there, okay, and that's got to go down, and so that's going to go through that catch as well. They had a nail going through it originally to connect the two. And so what I used is a rivet, and I just drove the rivet part out, and there's a steel little nail, and it fit perfectly in there, and I just kind of bent it over. Don't know how well that spring works really, but realistically you have, this is going to go down. It's going to want to set down because when the, when the seat's up, it's going to set down. It's not going to pop up out of there because of gravity. And then, of course, when you pull on it, it will pull it up. So these have to go. If you're facing the back side of the seat, these have to go down. Also, as a nod to the original manufacturers, I put that tag back in there. This piece here has a piece of material in it wrapped around, and I don't know what I can come up with for that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it and put it together. I can always go back. I will go back once I find some material for this. I might even sew something. So, you know, I don't have the material for that yet. So I'm going to take this off. I'll save all these buckles. Of course, as you know, the seat folds down. The buckle reaches underneath the bar that goes across. You cinch it down, and it has a nice flat area back for cargo. You can fold your seat down and do that, and you can squeeze the seat down using the strap. That's what it's for. And then it also has a little stow spot right there. We will use this again. I'm just not going to use this right now again because I just don't have any material yet. I wasn't prepared for that. I looked at that and I was like, wow. I didn't even know it had the belt on it. So we're going to take that off there. We're going to put this piece and the other strap down at the bottom. Has screws on it. Where it had nails in it, I'm probably going to put a couple of black screws into it. There you go. Well, got a little, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe the seat cover it up, probably. This has got a little twist to it, but it does on both sides. You know, I'm not an upholsterer. This is kind of tucked up a little bit, and this side's down, just very slightly, but all in all, I'm happy with that. I got rid of that old rotten horsehair. If you ever get on Rock Auto, you can order screws like this. They're made by Alvico, and I think I bought a box of 100 for, you know, peanuts. Like $10 or $8 or something, not a lot. And they're beautiful, these little phosphate screws, self-tappers. And so I put 3 on each side where the nails were. And so we'll put this in the car now. All right, take the nail back out. Put the nail back in that they had in there. It's in there for a reason. It's just wacky as all get out, some of this stuff. But the nail I put through with the head at the bottom. And the spring head was over here, so I grabbed a hold of the spring up underneath the rod with the screwdriver, and I wrapped it around, and I got it hooked on the head part of the nail. And now it's spring loaded like it's supposed to be. Alright, I'm going to show you these because no one shows them online. I can't find anything. Can't find it in the book or anything. The flat area goes to the bottom. The flat area, and this little hook right here, the little hook, if you look at it, it flips up over the top of that. Of course, there's 2 pads here also. So there you go. How about that? It's not too bad. What's wrong with that, huh? Okay, now the bottom portion. Okay, well, here's the rear seat bottom. And sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. This looks to be original, and it does indeed have hog rings. Look at that, hog rings. Son of a gun. This seat did have a piece of paper in it right here. But the reason why I'm, and you can look at the seat, and this seat would clean up. The seat would clean. Dan, now don't stick that screwdriver in the seat. Okay. Oh no, you don't want to do that. The material is just stone hard. And another thing about this is it has this coconut fiber, coconut husks underneath it. And the deal with this coconut husks is you'll end up with this stuff all over your carpeting unless you get rid of it. So let's take this cover off, and we'll put the new one on, because I know this is original, and oh well, you should have kept that, blah 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 blah. But you know, the deal is the seat. It's something that I'm going to use like a tire. I'm not going to use the original tires. Even if I had them, I'd get rid of them, because you know, I got to sit on this. So I'm going to recover this, and I'm going to put new padding on it also. Okay, just a little intermission. Does anybody know what this is? Pretty cool, huh? Thanks, Brian. So, all right. Anyways, there's really just not a lot of padding on this. So, you know, I'm going to take this off, and gee, you can see light through this. You know, so a little bit of felt here on the corners. So the amount of padding that I'm going to put on it with the sisal wrap first, it's gonna you know, go on the springs first, and the double up of the blankets on there, the moving blankets, that's going to have more value than this ever did. I didn't have enough sisal material, this stuff, but I did have some wool and padding, carpet padding, and if you separate it, there's two pieces. This is about the same thickness, and it's got like a coating on it. So I glued these two pieces together. So it's, or all these four pieces actually, 5 pieces. so it's one. It's not going to matter anyways. I'm probably going to put a strip of duct tape down there, so when I flip it over, and if you pull a seat out and look at it, it's got a piece of tape on the bottom there, so you can't really tell that I glued it together. I don't know. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter for me. But here's the deal. I wanted to get this video out, and the problem is I ordered probably 2 weeks ago 2 rolls of this, 2 more rolls of this, and it hasn't come. And I got a note in the mail a couple of days ago saying it's on super double secret back order. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to make do with what I have, and that's fine. It's all right. It's not going to matter. It'll be fine. This will make a good covering for it. I'm using the coated edge on both of them as a side down, and I'll tack that on there and clamp it. So there's 4 layers there. And I kind of got them just tacked on with a little glue, just so they don't fall off, you know. And I know you people are like, I can't believe you're using those blankets for padding. That's ridiculous. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, listen, I'd have more respect for this if it didn't have freaking coconut husks in it. Okay? If it was modern, like I had it, foam or something, yeah, I can understand. But coconut husks? Hey, come on. I'm doing it a solid. Okay, the opposite side of this is a little rusty. So I'm going to give it a little fur with the wire wheel, and I'm going to shoot a little clear on it and walk away. Let that dry, and then we'll put the seat cover on. Got it tucked around there, and I'm going to hit both of these tabs right here. This one. And then I'm going to do the other one. You can compress that quite a bit, so. And then what I'm going to do is you've got a hole right there all the way around it, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a spot tie. I'm going to put a spot tie through there, and then what that'll do is it'll give me a chance to get the ring back in there, the metal ring, and clamp it. See if you can even see what I'm talking about. Yeah, you'll be able to see these holes right here. I'm going to poke a hole through that and put a zip tie on there, and then I can get one of these, get my big head in the way, one of these rings in there and squeeze it tight. You could probably use a piece of coat hanger or something also. And I'm kind of folding these under like that. And then what I'll do is I'll cut these off, because if you don't cut these off, and maybe I will, I don't know. I might cut these short and take a piece of and just melt them, maybe. I don't see why I should have to cut them off. But I'm putting metal ones on also. Oh, and also, there's a stitching right here, and I've put the, not in the double up part right here, but I've put it behind it, so it has to go through the double up part and the stitching in order for it to rip out, if that makes sense. It's a little stronger, I think. I've got all these tucked under. Like, oops, I had 2 strings there, so I tied them to the other side. I don't know what the hell they're for. Ooh, nice and padded too. Beautiful. That's nice. Now, all the horsehair won't fall down into on your battery. Let's put it in the car. Well, what do you think about that? I think she looks pretty good for being stuffed with Chinese blankets. Oh, Lordy. Got a little wrinkle over there, but nobody's going to stick their head and go, there's a wrinkle over there. So, yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. Well, alright, I'm going to get this one out on the interwebs. I had kind of a rough time with this one with the snowstorm. The snowstorm is no longer the snowstorm. It's gone. Yeah, you get 2 days of 60-degree weather and it's gone. Anyways, thanks for wrenching with me on this old bomb, and we keep getting closer and closer. I have a tracking number from the USPS for carburetor for this, so that's probably going to be next, and putting the engine all together and getting it tweaked in. Not going to be able to do the front seats yet because I'm still waiting on super double secret back order. Well, yeah, coming along. Thanks for being with me in the garage. See you on the next one. Bye.